The Human Playbook.
Why and how do we attract people into our lives that end up hurting us? Why do we keep them around? What lesson are we trying to learn? What mistake are we making, if any? What's going on with that?
At the bottom of it, what everybody of us has to learn or wants to learn is to love. To love deeper and to love without any condition. That is what the game about humanity is here. To love ever more deep and ever more full. When we say that people hurt us, it's not that they hurt us in the big sense. They hurt the small part of us, the part that is not healed yet and the part that is attached. The part that is all the time scared. This is what is being challenged to transcend, and it is challenged to be loved as well. So other people, they just shed light on that part that is not yet brought fully into love.
So until that wound is healed, we'll keep repeating the same thing with a different person. So how do we heal that? And does it take a long time, or can it be done instantly by changing our mind?
It can be done instantly, not really by changing our mind per se, but by loving this part and by bringing the light consciousness into that part. The moment we recognize the part that is not yet healed, the part that is attached, that is when it also heals. But until we can love that part, we will always attract those people who will trigger exactly that part inside of us.
How do we stay unattached?
We always attach ourselves to something, to some degree. Attachment is natural and it's okay. But the question is, where do we attach us? Do we attach to something external, which is an illusion? The external world is just a projection of our own consciousness. Or are we being attached to our own infinite self? The ego needs to exist and the ego needs to attach itself to something. So if it attaches itself to the higher mind, the part in us that is free, then this attachment liberates us at some point. So the question is just a shift of focus. A focus that shifts from the external world, from that thing that is outside of us, towards the inside world. The world that is infinite and overflowing with love. If we can find our focus shifting to that part and attach our focus to that as much as we can throughout the day, then we will find happiness.
Is the inside world thoughts and mind and feelings, or is it something else?
Yes, it is that, and it is much more than that as well. The thoughts and the feelings, they are just translators of the inside world. These are the bridges from the ego to the higher mind. Through our emotions and through our thoughts, we can get in alignment with our higher mind. If we choose the thoughts that feel genuinely good and exciting and joyful and loving, then we are more in contact with the higher self. But this is not all that there is to it. We can just feel our way into that vast entity that we call soul. But to explain exactly what it is or how infinite, that's not something that we can just explain or construct in our own minds. This is something that needs to be felt to moment. It is alive, it is ever expanding, and it's a movement.
Do we all have the same higher self, or is the higher self our separate souls?
We all have a higher self, but at the same time, we can also communicate with different souls, different entities, different beings. But the oversoul or the higher mind is coming from the very same one and only, you can call it God or the universe. The thing is that once this higher mind is expressed through our personality, that is where we give a unique shape to it. And that's where everybody expresses it very in a very unique way.
So, if I attract somebody into my life that is a mirror for some sort of unhealed part of me, and they don't really hurt me, I hurt myself, are they attracting me to them to learn something? Is it a mutual attraction? Is there a plan going on where we're both going to learn something?
Yes, there is always a plan on the soul level. There, every interaction and every meeting that we have with another soul serves a purpose. As I said, the purpose to bring us back closer to ourselves. That is the main purpose for it, to become more of who we truly are. You teach it to this other person, and this person teaches it to you. And the universe picks this exact partner for the reason to trigger that exact pain, that unhealed part of you. So the other person is the perfect match for you to heal and become more of who you truly are. And you are the perfect partner for the other person to also heal their part and become more of who they truly are. But the exact lesson can vary from you to this other person. If you are the one who needs to heal, for example, trust issues, it doesn't mean that the other person has the same issues to acknowledge.
Once we've attached to somebody, will there ever come a time in our lives where we are completely detached, or is there always like a memory and leftover connection in the background?
There is a time where detachment is going to happen and where detachment will be fully felt. The detachment to the other person is happening at that point when we realize that we are one, that there is no other person, that this person is just the projection of your own consciousness. And when these boundaries melt together, we realize that there is not me who can be attached to something else. There is a melting, a blending in with the other, and that leaves the question of attachment out of the equation.
So, does that mean there isn't actually any other people around? Or do you mean the thing that I'm experiencing is only what is in my consciousness? There is another person there, but the only thing I can experience is my own consciousness. So, for all intents and purposes, there really might not be anybody there.
There are no other people in that way. The other people exist only in your consciousness and as a projection of your consciousness. The moment you transcend your consciousness or you leave this realm, the other people will also leave. That is your experience, but that experience also applies to everybody else. So, in your reality and your experience, there aren't really other people. There is only your experience of them, and there is only you, and they are just a reflection of you.
So, I don't exist in anybody else's reality.
Not in the way that you think of it. You exist in their reality the way you think of it.
Oh. Yes. The only thing I'm experiencing is pretty much what's in my own mind.
Yes. And that is where you have freedom to choose, and freedom to mold and to manifest and create a new reality for you. Whenever you think this person has done that to me and this is going on and that makes me feel that way, you victimize yourself. You actually create your own reality through that story, because there is no one doing this or that to you. You do that in the moment where you tell yourself that you do that.
Are we meant to have life partners, or are we meant to have a life partner that we achieve and keep forever, or are we meant to go through many people to learn lessons?
That depends very much on what we are, if you say, meant to. That can change. It all depends on how well a soul goes through the lesson and how much a soul learns. If a soul learns fast and has a person who can go with him or her through several stages of growth and introspection, then it's possible that they can grow to the very end of their existence together and stay together. But if this is not possible, since everything in the universe wants to grow and expand, and if they cannot grow any more together, then it's better to switch and change the partners. But mostly those partners that we want to run away from, that trigger a lot in us, that bring us pain, that's exactly our soulmates. And that is exactly where the most growth happen. And sometimes the growth means to go deeper into connection, and sometimes growth means to actually turn your back from them and to run away. But that depends very much on the lesson, and especially on how well the ego is in alignment with the soul.
Thank you. I think that's all my questions for now.
Thank you.
That was good.
All right.
Okay, let me take some breaths.
All right.
Ready.
All right. What is the fastest way to manifest wealth and fame?
Wealth and fame are feelings you can give yourself right now. You could have all the money in the world and not be wealthy. You could have all the fans in the world and not be famous. Wealth has nothing to do with money. Wealth has everything to do with not paying attention to money, not worshiping money. Wealth is a total acceptance of abundance, that abundance is natural and everywhere. Wealth also has nothing to do with ownership. Wealth is the beauty of nature, the beauty of other people, the beauty of other people's so-called belongings. The appreciation of everything is wealth. Fame is similar. Fame is not about how many people are looking. The feeling of fame is that you are performing at your truest level for the only audience you will ever know, which is yourself. To put on a show, a performance, which is not inauthentic. Performing is not inauthentic. putting on a show is the most authentic thing you can do. You are authoring. It is your authority. And the people that you are so interested in watching or not watching, applauding or not applauding, are secondary to the real audience, which is yourself.
So, is the fastest way to tune into wealth and fame to appreciate things that are in your surroundings?
It's appreciation for wealth, and it's fearlessness for fame.
Fearlessness for fame.
All of the material world will catch up. It will all rush in as you let the ideas come to you, as you let the people come to you, as you let the resources come to you. And if it's not coming to you, this moment, if it doesn't appear complete in the material world to you, you may not be ready for it at the size that you'd like, but it is coming. The only thing in this universe is expansion. A tree, as it's growing, does not cut off its own branches and delete and pull back. It only adds to itself.
What can one do who is scared of the rejection, especially when one wants to be authentic and vulnerable?
You're rejecting yourself. You are in the audience booing at yourself. And you're on stage letting that audience member control your expression. That is a wound that you did not come here with, that you have an opportunity to love and to heal. Fame is very generous. Fame is very generating. It is self-generating. It gives of itself. It does not deplete itself by sharing itself. It is a very bright light that other people are desperate to absorb and reflect and generate on their own. It's incredibly generous.
So fame comes from giving rather than taking.
Exactly. And it's not the type of giving where you mine from the earth. It's the type of giving where a tree naturally, at its maturity, gives away its fruit. Within its fruit is itself to make more of itself. Those seeds spread. It is not being depleted. It is just expanding. It's the type of generosity that is expanding. It does not deplete. That tree has everything it needs without even moving to give itself away. It has sunlight, it has bees, it has animals, it has air. It's extremely natural to be generous and famous. Extremely natural. It's not normal. Very few people do it. They're all limited by their own self-rejection. Everybody can be famous.
What can one do who feels like they're not growing or expanding anymore, but rather they feel stuck and stagnant in their life?
Two things. There is winter, when the season changes, the climate changes, the resources change. The tree sheds its leaves. It does not produce fruit. The tree is resting, repairing, and preparing for spring. Secondly, none of us are trees. We are unlimited creators. We are human beings where our only experience is our consciousness. This is a story. It's an attractive story to say, I've run out of ideas. I've run out of expansion. I've run out of creativity. This is impossible. There is no running out of the most abundant thing in the universe, which is ideas and thoughts and feelings. Those are instantly manifested. Those are constantly being delivered to you. If you gaze at the material world and say, these things aren't increasing, you're also wrong. This is a consciousness of stagnancy. If you change your frequency and view to things that expand, you will instantly find something else in your life that is growing. You will instantly find something else that is expanding naturally. Your frequency of stagnancy limits your perception to only things that are stagnant. It's the only thing that you can see. You can change your frequency very quickly, though.
Is traveling a fast way to change frequency? And I mean physical travel.
Traveling is great. Moving around is wonderful, whether it's just a drive, whether it's going across the planet. Novelty, change of scenery, change of people, change of feeling, change of temperature. These are all great. You're there the whole time, though. So there is no escaping you if escaping you is what you think is the solution. You could be able to do all of the creative things that you like in your own 1 mile square radius, but there's nothing wrong with traveling. It is not required.
Great. That's all for me now. That was amazing. The Human Playbook.